Well, it's Uncommon Fossil. Today, I want to talk about a Clefairy deck. This is the Clefairy from Lost Origin. So it's been around a little bit. It's kind of a meme Pokemon slash deck, which means it's a lot of fun. But this is pretty solid. I'm finding playing it, I'm doing 200 damage on turn 2 on a single prize Pokemon a lot of times, and that's quite good. That can win you games. It'll have its bad matchups too, but it can win for sure, and it's a lot of fun. So let me talk about it here. So Clefairy from Lost Origin, 60 HP. 60 is a problem in a Lost Zone matchup, right? The Sableye takes out 2 Clefairies, so it pretty much crushes you. So you hope you don't match into that. But what it has here is Moon Watching Party ability. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon is in the active spot for each of your bench Clefairy, obviously you can have up to 4 in play, so 3 on the bench ideally. You may search your deck for a basic Psychic Energy and attach it to that Clefairy. Then shuffle your deck. So get a Clefairy in the active, accelerate to your other Clefairy on the bench, switch, keep doing it. You can do it. Each Clefairy you have in play can do it once per turn. Quite nice. And then you have Wonderstorm attack for 3 colors energy, although we're only playing Psychic. So it's going to be Psychic Energy. As in the attack, makes it pretty clear that's what you want. Wonderstorm. This attack does 20 damage for each Psychic Energy card attached to all of your Pokemon. So you want to get a lot of Psychic Energy in play, and then 20 times that amount. So you can quickly get a lot of Psychic Energy in play just to help the deck set up. We do play a Radiant Greninja just for its concealed cards. You can discard a basic energy, or discard energy, doesn't have to be basic, from your hand and draw 2. The deck plays a lot of energy, so we do get good use out of this card for sure. We obviously have these very soft these Clefairy sitting on the bench, so Manaphy is pretty much a must include in the deck. And then we do have this big attacker of the Wyrdeer V. It's 220 HP, so that's okay. That's kind of what you expect for a V. And then it attacks Sky Shield Bash for 3 energy. It does 40 times damage for each energy attached to this Pokemon. So you want to get a lot of energy on this Pokemon. And how do you do it? We utilize Frontier Road ability once during your turn. You may, when this Pokemon moves from your bench to the active spot, it doesn't say once per turn, sorry. During your turn, when this Pokemon moves from the bench to the active spot, you may move any amount of energy from your other Pokemon to it. So you get it on the bench, move it into the active, get a whole bunch of energies off your Clefairies, put it on the Wyrdeer V, take the knockout that you need. So it's a big finisher. You usually don't want to start with it. You usually want it late in the game to hope to get a multi-prize knockout for game. We play 17 basic energy because we need to get a lot of energies into play. That seems about to be the right number for this deck. So I've been looking at some lists, modifying it to my own take on it. Plays for Iono. It does play research also, but a lot of times we don't want to be discarding cards because we need to get those Clefairies back into play as quickly as we can. We need to get those energy cards back into the deck. So discarding with research isn't preferred. So Iono is even early on to get 6 new cards, and we will fall behind sometimes. So Iono to hamper our opponent is useful there. 2 switch cards. Could play more of these. Getting the right mix of switch is always a question. I play 8 switching cards in total. I think that's enough. I could make some adjustments to it. For Battle VIP Pass, just getting all these, obviously turn 1, get 2 basic Pokemon onto your bench. A nice card because we do need to get our bench set up quickly. We could drop Battle VIP Pass, replace it with Nest Ball because we're not playing that, and they're all basic Pokemon, so that would be an option. This probably sets us up a little better. Getting set up turn 1 is important. Fog Crystal, a great card for a deck like this. Search for a basic Psychic Energy or basic Psychic Pokemon. Put it into hand, so nice there. Super Rod, I included that. Up to shuffle any combination of Pokemon and basic energies from your discard pile into your deck. So get back a Wyrdeer V that had to be discarded, or a Radiant Greninja, or and some energy, or even just energy at times, because obviously that's an important thing to do. For Bruno, I play Bruno. At one point, I played Cynthia's Ambition. I dropped that, just going with the Bruno. I think this just seems better to me. You with the Bruno, you shuffle your hand into your deck and draw either 4 or 7 cards. 7 if you've been knocked out last turn. It's a single prize deck. That's happening a lot. And I think with Cynthia's Ambition, if you knock out your draw to 8, which is obviously one more than 7, which is good. But with Bruno, you play the cards down in your hand first that you have that you want that you're going to play that turn. Then Bruno, so a fresh set of cards I think is better with this deck. One Hisuian Heavy Ball to search your prize cards for a basic Pokemon, and this replaces that. The prize cards could put a second one in the deck. You definitely need at least one in this deck. 2 Rescue Carriers. This gets back Manaphy, and it gets back Clefairy. That's the big thing, getting Clefairies, and they come back into your hand. Sometimes, if one Clefairy's not been knocked out into the discard pile, sometimes I think I'm waiting to use Rescue Carrier until I have 2, just to maximize the value. I did have considered maybe upping the count of this to 3, but I do have Super Rod, so I guess I can get by. Sometimes, if it's a single prize matchup, the game gets long, and it is tricky, I will say. 2 Escape Rope. Again, you switch yourself. Your opponent switches also. So a useful card. Need that switching to get those Clefairies and cycling through the active. 3 Energy Recyclers. Started with 2. Put in a third one, partly because sometimes you have to research one early. But as your Clefairies get knocked out, and you get a Clefairy knocked out with like 4 energy on, all of a sudden your damage count takes a big hit. And you've got to get those energies back into play. And even as the game goes on, you run out of energies in the discard in your deck, and because they're sitting in the discard pile. So energy recycle is really important. Shuffle up to 5 basic energy from the discard pile into your deck. 2 per game probably is enough, but like I said, if you research one early on, which isn't uncommon, you really will be glad to have that third one. 4 Professor's Research, just a great setup card. I don't like the discarding with this deck, but it just sets up so well for you early game. So it's an important card. 1 Sky Seal Stone. This was a late include in the deck. Not sure entirely if I wanted it or not. Right, it would go on the Wyrdeer V, and then you'd use the Star Order ability, and then that turn, your opponent's V-Star or V, if your opponent's V-Star or V Pokemon is knocked out by damage from the Pokemon from your basic Pokemon V, which is that's all we have, which is the Wyrdeer V. Then you take 1 additional prize card. So that is useful. Obviously, you can get 3 prizes off of V-Star, 4 off of V-Max, and that may well need to use this to set up game at the end. And then 4 switch cards. This is the preferred switching card, right? Better than the regular switch, because besides switching a basic, and we only play basic, so that's limitations on an issue, it heals 30 damage from the Pokemon that's moved to the bench, so it can be useful, although quite frankly, the Clefairies are at 60 HP. They're just saying, knock me out, knock me out. That's where things can go wrong with this deck. Let's jump in the rank ladder and see how the deck performs. All right, so opponent's calling the coin flip. We will see what happens here. Obviously, I will go first if I can, but going second, I might be able to attack. Being able to play supporter the first turn isn't terrible with this deck. Hopefully, the coin starts flipping soon. It is being slow, so don't know why it's slow. It just, these games can be slow sometimes. Often, if you're playing mobile, it's a little more awkward, and connection speed for people can be slow. Hopefully the servers are all good and up and running. I'm not sure, but I hope so. When I'm playing this game today, this is the period where there's like 6, I think, Pokemon with abilities that are banned, because when those Pokemon get removed from play, it kind of causes a soft lock where your opponent can't, I think, play any cards. I had a video. I tested out and expanded because they didn't fix it and expanded, which I can confirm that. All right, 2 switching cards, Battle VIP Pass. All right, so Kirlia, Mewtwo V Union. So Mewtwo V Union will be big trouble, I believe, right? I'm trying to remember what all its attacks are. I don't right now, but it is tanky for sure. I don't remember if it's got a spread attack or not. So anyway, but it's a nice hand. 2 Clefairies to start. Battle VIP Pass, 2 switching cards, so I can get a lot of energies into play, which is probably my play here. Just energy, 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 and I do have 1 in hand to attach to. I could throw down a Radiant Greninja also. I'll have to see how things go, what it looks like when my opponent starts. I have enjoyed this deck. I had been working on the cast form deck again lately too, with the Squawkabilly EX, if I'm remembering the proper getting the card name correctly. That's kind of like the Dene, but only on turn 1. You can discard your hand and draw 6. Does help cast form, but it's still not great. This is much better in terms of that meme deck world than cast form. It's just as I think it's as good as Mad Party Headband. There is the Unified Wings or Wings of Unity. I'm not exactly sure what the name is. All right, so another Switch card. So that is really nice. So I think I really just want to get these guys up and going, right? I think I just want to. I think I'm just going to get. Okay, well, I guess I'm only going to do 1 Clefairy, right? I wanted to get 2, so I need Hisuian Heavy Ball. That's all right. Let me think. If I get Hisuian Heavy Ball, then I'll have 1 more card. I try to decide if I should use Radiant Greninja's ability first or second. So, okay, so that's good. Not going to get Hisuian Heavy Ball this turn, though. So, once you select, I wish once you select 2 Pokemon, I only have 2 on the bench, and then you have 2 energy. I wish it would allow you to not have to pick the Pokemon, right? Because the 1 energy needs to go on every Pokemon. So I don't want to get Wyrdeer or Manaphy down, I don't think. Just kind of peeking through things. So I do have Heavy Ball in the deck. It's not prized, so that's good for sure. Okay. So each of these Clefairy will have 2 energy on them. Obviously, if I could have gotten that 3rd Clefairy into play, or 4th Clefairy into play, it would have been even better, but not that fortunate this game. Excuse me. I'm just going to end turn here. Actually, I think I made a mistake. I should have played Battle VIP Pass. I should have played it. I think because I can fail it, but I get it in the discard pile because this card has no value to me. I don't want to see it again, right? I'm either gonna Bruno or Iono this turn. So right now I can attack. So they're playing Drifloon, which isn't a bad Pokemon at all, and they probably with the charm of Bravery. I don't remember what it's called now. I haven't played with it yet, so I will. I'm looking forward to it. It's a card I like. I like Cape of Toughness. I like decks that it paired with Suicune V, Entei V, Blissey V. I am looking forward to trying out Blissey V again, because I thought Blissey Miltank was a solid deck. We have, excuse me, I'm coughing. I think I'm managing to mute it properly. So we got a W. Nah, I think not necessarily that they're afraid of the Clefairy, although I was going to knock them out, and I do think they knew that. But they were inactive, so I don't know. Maybe they had a connection issue. There shouldn't be a connection issue based on anything that I did. I wasn't exploiting a glitch, so perhaps they were just having connection issues. It did take them a while for the coin toss to happen. So jump in again, got 1 win, but that shows you any deck can win a game. But I think this deck is reasonable. So I will choose heads. Let's see. I will go choose. Okay, let my opponent choose. That's okay. Let me get a little sound going in the background. I don't normally have sound, which is why it's normally turned off when I'm playing for myself, my own benefit, or or playing to prepare for a video like this. All right, I'm going first. So my opponent has a deck that wants to go second. Could be a lightning deck. Not sure. So not a great start at all. Let's see what I'm up against. So a lightning deck, which is why. How about that? That is quite nice. So 1 switch card. So let's see. I have all 3 Clefairies so in the deck, so I will toss all those into play, I think, and just chuck around a bunch of energy. Yeah, I can use Fog Crystal to get 3rd one down. Okay. So Fog Crystal. Get another Clefairy into play. very nice start here. Use my ability. I will attach manual. I'll have to see when I'm done where I want to attach the energy, right? So that's useful for sure. Switch Cart. Send up one of the Pokemon with 1 energy. There's no choice about that at all. I think, like I said in the previous game, I wish it would just automatically attach the energies. I have 3 Pokemon and 3 energy. There's really no option at the end of the day with how these energies are going to be attached. So, end turn. So quite nice, right? I do need to get an energy onto the active to attack. I could manually retreat. I don't like to do that. My opponent may play Beach Court, which would reduce the cost to 1. I don't play any stadiums. I'm not sure deck space if I have it. Pass to the Peak would is certainly useful for a number of decks. We'll see how this matchup goes, right? I don't know. I'm only hitting into the active. I do play, I believe I put 2 boss. Or no, did I not put boss in? Oh, I was going to put boss in the deck with my last changes. I did not. So, no boss in deck. I need to make a note that I probably should put some in. So, okay. So perhaps I can get a knockout next turn. Fleet-footed. They haven't Electric Generator, which is I assume that's in the deck. They might, I guess they didn't have it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards. So, ooh, okay. So my opponent didn't set up that well. So I'm trying to think through what I want to do. 1, 2, 3. So do I research? I think I'm going to research. I don't want to Iono, I think. My opponent... Well, I don't know what they have, right? That was their first turn. I need to get 1 energy. Maybe I Iono here. I'm going to Iono, keep the Wyrdeer, or the Wyrdeer, I guess, hidden from them. Okay. So I do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 11 times 2. So do I want to switch? I think I'll do a switch. I won't rope because I'd like to knock him out. Knocking him out does seem quite nice to me. So let's really toss a lot of energy on these guys here. Do I want to chuck down? I think I'll do that. So I'm doing pretty big damage here. 280 damage. Wow, I'm liking that. See, so this is the power of this deck, right? So, boom. Turn 2, I believe, right? 280 damage. It was an optimal start, but 280 damage turn 2. You know, back in the late days when I was playing Mad Party, I know I loved it for sure. That was my early days of getting more serious about Pokemon. Mad Party was one of my early decks. One time I picked up that deck, it was the best deck I probably had up to that point for standard play. That was back in the days of PTCGO with the theme deck. So obviously something like Soaring Storm was possibly the BDIF in theme format. All right, so Electric Generator. So this then, if they can get, okay, no, that's not the. I was more concerned about the Regieleki EV. Do they not play that? Oh, they do. Okay, so they're gonna manually retreat. They might. I gotta say, I don't mind it though. So 30 damage, and it switches. So that's, wow. I mean, that's just so not good for them. All right, I don't play boss. I certainly wish I did. I do play rope, though. So rope is nice. I think I just want to take things easy. I don't want to chuck any more energy into play at this point. Right, I did 280, so I don't need any more energy in play. So let me take out a multi-prize Pokemon, right? I could have taken out that engine card, but I think I'll just, and I have Rescue Carrier for next turn. So let me just, boom, 280. I'm just chilling this game, just chilling. I'm not intentionally not accelerating energy. I think that's the right play. I have Energy Recycler, so therefore I didn't have that before. So with that in hand, I will probably get a little more aggressive with the energy acceleration, just because I'm at 280. I'll lose 3 or 4, so I'll go down, but I'm still at 200 damage, and I can. So they're gonna attack with Raikou. That's the thing they should be doing, because I've run into this matchup some before with this deck, is the Regieleki V is very tough with that 100. It reduces the damage by 100, right? So then it's at 200 plus 100 200 HP plus 100 reduction. I need to hit them with for 300 to knock them out. But you know what? I can do that. So, and they conceded. Okay, I was trying to think through which guy to send up. So there we go. So I'm just going to keep this video short and sweet. So you really saw how this deck sets up. What, 280 damage? I believe it was turn 2. Just taking out multi-prize Pokemon for multi-prize Pokemon. This deck just loves that. A terrific matchup. Like I said, I think they should have attacked with the Regieleki V. That would have made life harder. I think I got such a good turn 1 that wouldn't have mattered. I do like this deck list. I should include, I might put 2 boss in which case maybe drop Sky Seal Stone. I haven't played it with a lot yet, although, but thus far I haven't gotten a use out of the card. But it could have been useful in a matchup like that for sure, right? Could have gotten 4 prizes on that Regieleki VMAX. So anyway, give it a try. It's a very fun deck. I also like decks like this. This was a deck when it came out early on. It got some attention. Everybody forgets about it because it's not the top tier deck, obviously. It is probably not a viable competitive deck at all. But it's a very fun deck in the rank ladder, and you will win games with it. So don't be afraid to play a deck like this, and don't be afraid to go back to the decks from a year ago or even 2 years ago. These fun decks, because they're still around, they're still valid. They get a lot of attention at first, they get forgotten. I try not to forget these decks, and when I find what I think is good for the time being, I will make a video on it. And so, let me know suggestions if you have decks that you'd like to see. That's certainly welcomed. And I hope you have a good day and have some fun with Pokemon. Take care.